Okay, this is gonna be episode 7 or 8 or something like that. But it's popping up on the player. This is obviously gonna be the Chicago Transplant Edition.
What's up?
Because we have El Pavo Joe Barrett with us from Chicago.
Yep, south side of Chicago, 79th Street, 79th and Walcott.
Like,
that's me.
I don't know where that is.
It's on the south side.
Oh,
that's the southwest side. And then I also was born actually on the southeast side, which is over on 88th and King Drive. So I've been like back and forth between that southeast side of Chicago and southwest side of Chicago.
Okay.
Both of them.
So what brought you out tonight?
I just came out to hear the DJs. G Smooth, who's Club NEP. So we came out to support him. And I don't know the other DJ from Atlanta, but
DJ 15.
Okay, yeah, but I used to live in Atlanta too. So I came out to just hear, what these cats was gonna do tonight.
So now you and Tommy Cool do a podcast show.
Yep, webcast, podcast.
Podcast.
Soulful Underground.
And that's actually gonna be in the running for the Best of Detroit 2017.
Oh, okay, sweet.
If you guys check out their pod show, what's the name
Check
of the
it out.
show?
It's called Soulful Underground. It's on Fridays from 7 to 9, live from Submerged Studios in Detroit.
All right.
Somewhere in Detroit.
That's right. The Resistance
Underground part of we're not like official like Underground Resistance or you are, but we're affiliated with them because we're in the building.
Okay.
So we hang out with those guys.
So who have you had on your show?
Man, let's see. We've had Rick. I'm sorry, I was going to say Rick High, but we had all the guys from Sonic Natives, except Al. We got to get Al, but we've had Magic. We've had Demetrius Orr. We've had Hazmat.
I love Demetrius Orr. Oh, okay, right. Hazmat.
Yeah, so we had Hazmat. We had DJ Minx. We've had Tony Dennis and Taz, Eric Johnson. We've had guys from overseas. Guys from one guy from Colombia. We've had Leo and his wife Danny. They're from Argentina.
Okay.
So they're transplants here. So we've had so many people because we've been doing the show about 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've been submerged like 3.5 years or something like that.
So what is the genre? I think it's French.
Right, the genre.
Right. What's the genre of house that you enjoy playing most?
For me, it's disco, and I'm talking about like classic disco. From
so you straight Chicago style.
That's what I came up on when I started DJing and even hearing the music in '81 on WBMX. It was more like Italo disco, and then New York club music and South Soul and Sound of Philly records. So those were the songs that like my parents even had, like my mom even had. Like I remember when she bought Hit and Run by Lolita Holloway. I remember when she brought that record home, the 12.
Wow.
So they had those records and all those Teddy Pendergrass, those Philly soul records. So when I first started trying to DJ, those were the records I was using myself. Just trying to like learn how to mix and stuff with those records because Chicago DJs weren't making music yet.
Okay.
It was just the Italo disco and then that disco that we had in those New York kind of club records that kind of started off the scene.
Now I claim to be about that life, that house music life, but it's a lot of music that I know what I like, but I don't necessarily know who makes it or.
Right.
But I know I started liking people like I guess you would call them record labels like Strictly Rhythm.
Okay, yeah.
I love Kings of Tomorrow. I love Kings of Tomorrow. So who would be your like when you're going to buy music now? Who do you go to?
Man, I tell you what. When I go to buy music now, I actually try and listen to everything that I try and listen to as much as I can because I don't think there's one specific label or anything because you can find something hot in the soulful house like on track stores. You can find something somebody did on Bandcamp. Your friend can send you a remix or edit that they did. So back in the day before all the digital stuff, we were digging. So it's almost like you're digital digging, like we used to vinyl dig back in the day.
I think people think being a DJ is fun, but what they don't realize is being a DJ is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. I mean, I was just kind of looking around just to see what it was like, and like the new 1200s are like expensive as shit.
Yeah, but you know what? You don't have to buy, like, if somebody's trying to get started or they want to DJ, they don't have to buy new anything. It's like anything. It's even as a musician. you like I play drums as well. I buy used drums and used cymbals. It's all how you use it. So, you know, if you're buying, whether it's Technique 1200s or Pioneers or Reloops or whatever you're using, as long as you can work them, CDJs, work them. If you're using a controller, work it. To me, the most important thing is the music and how you play it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So, you know.
Y'all come on in. The music's good and it's free.
Right. What's up, G?
What's up, G Smooth?
G Smooth just
and
walked up.
Here's G
Come here,
Smooth.
get on the camera.
Mr. Club NEP.
Club NEP, right
say
here.
It out, say it so everybody can know it. Like
no,
you, dog,
he gotta
like
save it for inside. He gotta save it for inside.
Come on out to Hot House Fridays. Hot ass DJs playing hot ass music in a hot ass basement to a hot ass crowd on a hot ass Friday night somewhere in Detroit.
That's right. Don't
Club
say
NEP.
right. Okay.
Now listen, the records are put up now, but when I tell you that man got a record collection out this world,
you can
oh
see
my
him.
God, he has a record collection out this world. And so, you know, just kind of back to what we were talking about, how expensive it is to be a DJ. It looks fun when you all are up there twisting those little knobs and playing music, but being a DJ is really, really, really an expensive habit. It's a habit.
It is. Well, I started buying music in 1982 because I had wore out all the records that my mom and them had, and I could get from my auntie and them. But then I realized when I was hearing this music on WBMX, I'm talking about like BMX is the first time where I heard like hip hop, bebop, Dance or Die by Sweet Pea Atkinson, Tony Lee, Reach Up, Gary's Gang, the Italo disco stuff like Gaz Nevada, like Feel a Drive, you know, Doctor's Cat, you know, Watch Out and Feel a Drive, all those things. That's the stuff you had to go to the store and buy those, and the import records were a little more expensive than the domestic records. But the record store we would go to, imports, 12-inch single was $3.99.
I was getting ready to ask how much
it was $3.99, and if you bought two of the same, they would charge you $3.49 because we would buy two, because back then as a DJ you kind of had to really do your own remixes on the turntables. There wasn't no edits or anything like that, so if you wanted to backtrack like the break of a record, you had to buy two. So it's almost kind of like the hip hop DJs do now. The house DJs back in Chicago, we were doing that as well. We backtrack and keep the break going or whatever before we mix in the next record. But the imports were like $6.99.
Wow.
So yeah, so that shit was expensive.
Now, y'all know I love my Chicago house. I love my Chicago house DJs. I absolutely love my chosen few DJs. They like a bag of Lay's chips. You can't pick. You can't pick just one.
Right. You can't pick. Okay.
Although Wayne Williams, you are my favorite tonight. Okay.
But tomorrow it might be somebody else. All right.
And the next day it might be Terry Hunter.
Right, it goes back. Okay, all right. Okay, but you give them all equal love.
I give them equal love.
You rotate the love. Okay, you rotate the love.
You know they get selfish like that.
I understand.
They do. They sensitive.
Right. Sensitive. I got it.
But in Chicago, who is, as far as we know the Terry Hunters, we know the Allen Kings, we know the Jamie 326s and the Glenn Undergrounds, we know all of them. But who are some of the DJs in Chicago that you've heard that like in the boxes? Box. You know, you my play cousin. I did not mean to. I'm sorry, bro. I'm still giving you the big piece of chicken.
He understand you got something going on here.
So who are some of the underrated DJs in Chicago that you would like to shout out? Give me three. Give me three.
I'm gonna give you three. First, I'm gonna give you the guy that helped me out when I first got on college radio, WKKC in Chicago, and that's my man Bobby Q. Bobby. Bobby actually was doing a show, and what the Q is on, and what he was doing is he was actually just playing. He wasn't mixing. He was playing the songs that he was playing in his mixes, like the disco songs, the Italo disco stuff. And that back then it was called deep house. See, deep house, what you hear now on Track Source is more the slower, maybe like down tempo, not a lot of vocals, deep house that they changed it to. But back when we were first starting, deep house was like disco. It was like the Bumblebee Unlimited. It was like It Ain't No Big Thing. It was like those type of songs that were considered like deep, as opposed to like the regular house that the DJ just started making, like Chip E, like this, and the stuff Farley was making. Jesse Saunders.
Like this.
Right. Jesse Saunders making Funk You Up, and on. And then there was deep house. So Bobby Q. Bobby. And there's another guy that I grew up with, but we were the same age, but he lived in London Town, and London Town was where my cousin lived. So I would go over there and kick it with them. But Dion Hunter is a show enough beast on the decks.
Wow.
And we knew each other when we were younger, and then I went away and didn't see him for like years and years and years. Then we just recently became reacquainted. So Bobby, Dion, and
nice meeting you too.
how you doing? Somebody came to say hey to Paula.
Hey, bye Miriam.
Okay, she's giving hugs. She's giving
Love
hugs
you,
out.
baby.
I'm not always, but I am.
But that's cool though. I'll take them off.
Good for you. Keep it that way. Thank you. Nice meeting you, darling.
So, okay, so you said but you said kind of like not well known, but I gotta say this name that's well known is Farley Jackmaster Funk.
Okay, we all know about Farley. We love you, Farley. We love you, Farley. But we talking about those that may not have been heard of.
Okay, then
Because for me, it's Farley Cicero, Pablo Disco Bar, the Ghetto DJ. That's my baby. That right, 50 Mills.
Right. So you know what? That's one of the cats. But you know what? 50 Mills. But see, what happened is I grew up in Chicago till I was there till I was about 23. Then I went to Atlanta, and then I came here. So a lot of those guys, when I was DJing in Chicago, I didn't know them. The guys I knew were like Terry Hunter, Gene Hunt, like I said, my man Bobby Q Bobby, Walter Get Down Brown, all the guys that on WKKC.
Hi, darling. Mwah.
Missed you on
I
Yeah, hey,
missed
thank you, Bobby Q Bobby. I gave you Dion Hunter, and I was just getting ready to give you. Like I said, a lot of those guys, Terry Hunter, Gene, were the guys that were DJing when I started.
Okay.
So like a lot of the guys, like even like Paulie and 50 Mills and them, either they weren't DJing or I just don't remember or know them from the time I was DJing because I left.
Well,
Chicago.
Paulie is kind of young, and
Okay, right.
I
'Cause
got
he used
him
to
from
work at
DJ Alicia.
Okay, and he used to work at George's Music Room, one of the biggest record stores in Chicago. I know that.
And when I tell you that, it never a sweeter man you ever want to meet.
Then who? George?
No,
then Paulie.
Big Paulie.
Big Paulie, right.
Big Paulie
Big
is
Paulie
a
Cicero.
sweetheart. Big Paulie
Cicero. Okay.
A sweetheart and a beast on the deck.
Right.
He is a beast on the deck. So
I shouted out Farley because I think what happens is you hear a lot of people running around talking about Frankie Knuckles and Ron Hardy, who were big influences of mine as well. And I would probably say more Frankie Knuckles for I guess the tunes he selected and even how he played. But Farley Keith, the DJs from my era, if they don't tell you that Farley Keith was somehow influencing you, they're lying, because Farley was the man. When we heard him on WBMX, that's when we all started going out buying records DJ.
and that's the guy who made Farley.
The one that made Farley. Right, Farley Jackmaster. He made Love Can't Turn Around. I'm a Househead, which was like a few years ago, like a big, more recent track that he made. But Farley Jackmaster Funk, Farley Funk and Keith, when he first started, was the biggest influence of probably a lot of DJs that started from the era I came.
So what's your go-to track when you want to get the house music, when you want to get the house heads on the floor? What's your go-to track?
Man, I try to stay away from stay away from the more popular type tracks, but there's one tune that I play by Louis Vega called Quintero's Jam, and that I've probably played it 4 times total, but every time I play it, people are running to ask me what that song is, because it's a remix that not a lot of people have, that I happen to get from a guy in Mexico. And
let me tell you something about DJs. DJs will tell you, I got this hot shit. Don't nobody have this shit. I know.
That's what we strive for.
They make DJs. I'm gonna tell all y'all this now. They made more than one copy, so somebody else has it.
Let me tell you this. It's possible, but in a digital age, because it's not on vinyl, and in a digital age, the guy who made it, who did the remix, because like I said, you can get it. Louis Vega made it, but this particular remix, probably not a lot of people know about it, because just a random dude made it, and he had it up on SoundCloud. And I was like, yo, man, I'm like, can I get this? He was like, yeah, and he emailed it to me.
Speaking of that,
All right.
what do you feel about people that download music and don't play it?
And don't play it?
I mean, don't pay for it.
Don't pay for it? Well, unfortunately, it's the It's the way music. It's kind of like the way music is done now. Music is so plentiful. It's almost like when you have anything that's plentiful. There's a certain amount of music that people are going to pay for. And then there's a certain music or type of music or certain music that people will either get or download. I used to work in the music industry. I prefer people pay for it. But also
for the music.
But you know what? At the same time, though, we used to think about back in the day when you had a hot tape, you would double tape for somebody. Well, yeah, and you double tape for somebody. Or a hot song was out, you put it on tape and gave it to them. It only became a problem for the record labels when it was digital and the sound quality was good. Because if somebody made you a tape back in the day, if they dubbed you a tape, you might say, I'm gonna go get the tape because it don't sound as good and I want it. But now with CDs and when CD recording, came out, it's the same. So record labels, and I was working for the label, we were upset because people were getting the same quality and they weren't going out and buying it.
So I mean, basically the moral of the story is support. Don't just come out and dance. Don't just do that. If you're going to buy the music, understand that these people are putting in a lot of high prayer. She is beautiful. They put in a lot of time, talent.
Yeah.
Just please support them. Buy their stuff. Team Thomas got something out new. Delano got some new stuff out.
But dare I say this?
That's the other child named Norm Talley. He got something.
Right. Norm Talley, I saw you put something out.
Man, Norm, well, y'all know.
I know that's your favorite. But let me say this, though, about buying music. Specifically house music. House music has never sold really to the general people. It's always been a DJ-driven music. It's always. Even in the 80s, when I was in the store, my friends weren't buying as much music as I was buying because I was a DJ. I was buying all the house music, and they would come to me talking about, hey, where'd you go and get? And they want to hear the music, and they might want to tape. But they weren't running to the store to buy, even though the song was the hottest house tune out. The people who were the dancers and stuff, they weren't buying the music. They were depending on the DJs to provide them the music either at the club or on tape. So that's one of the reasons I have when people talk about who makes
Snake.
DJ Snake just walked up in the house.
DJ Snake just walked up in the house. I'm getting you tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you tonight, Snake. I'm getting you, Kappa Man.
Yeah. So, but when people are talking about the DJs and how should the DJ be playing for the crowd and all this other stuff, I think that it's a give and take between both the crowd and the DJs, and the crowd has to be willing to open their mind and give a little bit more than I think they're giving, and the DJs have to be more creative. Okay, she's getting.
Don't you say something, and I swear, me and you gonna get close together.
Okay.
And not in a good way. Not in a good way, bro. Not in a good way.
That's what she said. Close together.
I know, right?
Don't sound cool.
Okay.
No. But I mean, I'm so thankful that you took the time out to speak with me. It's cold. I'm gonna wrap this up.
All right.
I always get a hug and a kiss from my DJ. Nope, just give me my hug and my kiss. This has been popping up at
Popping Up on the Playa.
Thank you, cause
okay. Joe Pavo Joe, what's up? You'll hear me DJing somewhere.
And LPJ J.
Okay.
I mean, it's just me. It's just me. We're cold. We in these streets. You can catch us in traffic, and I would really like to hear you play a little bit more. I really enjoyed you when you were with the House Gallery Cats.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a good night. People was
showed
first of all, whenever club lets you go beyond the time they close, you're doing something. And then when you're done, you get applause. And then when you're done, people come up to you and want to talk to you and hang out, and they ask you questions about different things.
It makes you feel good.
That's what DJs look for.
They do.
That's what DJs look for. That's the thing. When people do that, that's the give and take I was just talking about. That when you play good and people come up to you and stuff like that, and they let you know, I'm like, okay.
It feels good to be appreciated. That's what you're saying. So the moral of the story is not only go out and support by paying or dancing, but just go up to them and hug your DJ.
Just dap us up and say you enjoyed the set.
Say thank you.
You enjoyed the set.
You gotta say thank you.
That's fine too. But I swear that what's most important to me is When I'm playing, I want to see people dancing. When I was playing, like that night I was at House Gallery, or even the night I played with Rick on Beautiful Sunday, and people were dancing. When people are grooving and you can see them grooving, that's to me what it's about. That's everything. That's every single thing from 81 till now that I've been collecting this music and listening to music. That's what I do it for. I get money and get paid for it. That's part of great. That when I see on the dance floor or
that's
whatever,
what does your heart.
That's what does my heart's desire right there. That's it right there. All right.
Thank you so much, El Pavo
it,
Joe. Popping up on a player episode 7 or 8. Not really for sure. Your beer game is mattering.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right.
All right,
See you all later.
Talk to you later.
All right now.